Hey everybody, Robbie with Robbie's Reptiles, and today I have a video for you that's going to be quick, simple, easy breezy cover girl. We're just going to be going over how to actually have a lay box for your crested geckos once you've actually put them into a tub and you have bred them together and you've confirmed a lock. Well, what do you do from there? So your females are going to eventually start laying eggs, and you may want to make sure that you don't either get a female that's egg bound or you don't have them just laying eggs randomly and then they dry out and die. So you want to have a lay box prepared. Let's go ahead and talk about how you do that. Here's an example of my easiest and simplest lay box. What we get is we get some sphagnum moss, which you can buy at pretty much any pet shop or just go on Amazon and find it. Sphagnum moss, just get it into a giant bucket, get all the dry moss, put it in there and fill the bucket up with water. Then after you've let it soak for a little bit, pour out the water and then squeeze all the water out of the sphagnum moss. Then what you're going to be left with is the good stuff. That's what you want. You're just going to get some sort of Ziploc container, kind of like this, which I use, and then you keep the lids. All that I do is I literally just cut one of the corners off so that you can take it on and off easily, because originally I didn't have the lids on it, and what would happen is the females would tip it over and play around with it the whole time, and they would get stuff all over their enclosure. So if you have a lid on it, it kind of... Now this is the internet after all, and I'm sure that there's people that are going to want me to further demonstrate how this is done, so I have a spare lid. What you're going to do is you're going to have to buy some really expensive equipment. It's going to be a pair of scissors. You're going to get this pair of scissors, and you're just going to cut off one of the corners. Kind of like this. I try to avoid making a really sharp corner, although I have had this for the past few years now. None of my females have ever cut themselves on this, so I think you guys are going to be okay. You cut off the corner and then you put it onto the Ziploc bag or the Ziploc container, and that's it. It really is that simple, and what I like about this method is that it's very sanitary. With soil, it could get dirt all over the enclosure, which might be harder to clean up. But when you use sphagnum moss, I feel like it keeps the eggs cleaner. There's less of a chance of it getting all over the enclosure, and it still accomplishes the same goal, which is staying moist enough for the eggs to thrive by the time that you go and find it. Also, a quick pro tip is make sure that the containers you use are see-through so that you don't have to pick them up every few months or every couple of times each month and sifting through the moss. What you can do is just get ones that are clear so that when you open up your gecko's enclosure, you pick it up and look at the bottom. You'll always be able to see if there are eggs on the bottom. Only like once or twice in the past 2 years have I ever looked and seen, oh, well, there's no eggs on the bottom, but it looks like it's been tampered with. Here's how you know if a gecko has possibly laid eggs. Usually after they dig down and lay the eggs at the bottom, they'll then get on top and they will push down the entire substrate to try to make it look like nothing had been dug there before. Makes sense if they're out in the wild, and for us that's really helpful because I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this on camera. You're going to see that it's going to look more like this. It's going to look like it's been pushed down, rather than when you put it in there and it's all loose, it's going to look like it was pushed down. So that's another way for you to tell if they've laid any eggs, or at least if they were testing out if they should lay eggs or not. That's how I keep lay boxes for my female crested geckos. If you guys have any suggestions or you guys use any different methods, leave comments below and I'd love to talk about it and explain more and explain further why I use this method over others. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and all that YouTube mumbo jumbo, and I'll see you in the next one.